up on AgweekTV. North Dakota Senator John Hoeven wants to hear from farmers as he works on the new farm bill. Minnesota's governor puts strong support for ag in his proposed 2-year budget.
I'll talk with Mikkel as he prepares to end his long career in ag journalism.
And it's considered a farm and industry staple. 2 brothers are honored for inventing the skid steer loader. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. North Dakota Senator John Hoeven is promising to work with farmers and ranchers on the next farm bill. He's the lead Republican on the Senate Ag and Ag Appropriations Committees. He spoke recently at the North Dakota Grain Dealers Association convention in Fargo. Hoeven emphasized the importance of strong ag policy in the U.S. He also said one of the most important aspects of this farm bill is strengthening crop insurance.
The crop insurance funding can't be reduced unilaterally by USDA, by the Secretary of Ag, when he wants to take it for some other program, because then that reduces the support that our farmers and ranchers get, and they need that support, when they have a crop failure. So right up front, that's one of the keys in terms of not only crop insurance, but getting it done right so it's there for our farmers and ranchers.
Hoeven says this is important because the current system can limit the support farmers get after a crop failure. He also says addressing supply chain issues is a key part in reducing inflation. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz released his proposed 2-year budget this week. In it, Walz is prioritizing tax relief for farmers, biodiesel, and rural infrastructure. He outlined his proposal this week at the annual Minnesota Ag Expo in Mankato. The state has its biggest budget surplus in history, and ag leaders say they hope that translates to a strong ag budget. Tom Slaneka, CEO of Minnesota Soybean Research and Promotion Council, says he's very pleased with the governor's focus on ag.
Their dedication to renewable diesel, biodiesel, ethanol, I think is very, very key for driving the economics of our state, and the fact that we have a fantastic Department of Ag.
Slaneka says they would also like to see more money in the ag budget allotted for the Port of Duluth, which he says is poised to be important for moving soybean products to the UK and other European countries. It would be cheaper to ship out of Duluth than the Gulf of Mexico or Pacific Northwest. Cleaning barns and hauling manure is a labor-intensive chore for farmers and ranchers, but a pair of brothers revolutionized the job with their invention that has stood the test of time. I visited Foreman, North Dakota, where I met with the son and nephew of the brothers who invented the world-famous Bobcat skid steer loader.
Fall of '56, when the inspiration to build the first Keller loader came.
Joe Keller's father, Lewis Keller, and his uncle, Cyril Keller, owned and operated a machinist shop in Minnesota in the 1950s. After both serving in World War II, a turkey farmer approached them wanting a piece of self-propelled equipment that was light enough to be lifted to the barn's second floor and small enough to clean around the turkey barn's upright poles. The farmer was hesitant at first when the machine came because it had no steering wheel, which was unheard of at the time. But after seeing the machine clean the barn, he changed his mind.
And then he bought 2 of them. So he bought 2 just because of that one demonstration. So you had to demonstrate it or you could not sell it.
James Toyne began working for the Keller brothers in 1956 as a welder. He couldn't believe at the time that the loader would have the demand that it did.
Louis used to come into the lunchroom with this one right here and spin around while we was having lunch. I remember one day he said, "What do you guys think?" He said, "Do you think a machine like this, complete with a bucket, would sell for $2,000? And boy, no, we kind of doubted that was a lot of money. We were wrong.
The Keller loader quickly caught the attention of Melrose Manufacturing Company, now known as Bobcat, and they invited the brothers to demonstrate it at the 1957 Minnesota State Fair. The demo was a success, and the Melrose Manufacturing Company won the exclusive rights to the machine. It hired the Keller brothers to refine the design and put the machine into production, now known as the Bobcat skid steer. It's universally recognized as the industry leader.
That the tractor replaced the horse and oxen, and the Bobcat replaced the pitchfork and wheelbarrow.
The Keller brothers have been selected as 2023 inductees into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. This week, the AgWeek Livestock Tour takes us to north central North Dakota, where we meet a rancher who's also a consultant on meat and food issues around the country.
Our philosophy is that the cattle are just a means for us to really build soils and build healthy land.
Travis Maddock uses the regenerative grazing system to finish cattle at Maddock Ranch. They have a commercial herd of 100 cows and feed about 400 to 500 calves a year. His dad Brian started rotational grazing in the 1980s. Although the winter and early spring can be a challenging time for cattle producers in the upper Midwest, Maddock says summers are ideal.
I mean, the sun comes up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't go down until 10:30. We have an extremely long photo period that can grow grass. And we've got the temperatures and generally, most of the time, moisture. So we can grow a lot of grass up here for about 3 months out of the year.
Maddock has a master's degree in meat science from Texas A&M and a doctorate in ruminant nutrition from NDSU. In addition to ranching, he owns and operates Dakota Global Consulting. He advises meat and food companies about food safety, consumer issues, and regulatory requirements.
We work with meat companies. We do feasibility, do due diligence. We can do proof of concept, go to lender, business plans for meat startups or reworks.
And he says his consulting business makes him a better rancher, too.
I get a great opportunity to spend time with, in meatpacking plants and working with retailers and consumers. I get a great chance to say, hey, what do you guys look for? What do you want? And then we can come back and try to do some of those things on the ranch.
Although Maddock ranches with his wife, kids, parents, brothers, and their wives, he says they're breaking the paradigm of what a traditional family operation should be, as they all have jobs off the ranch.
I don't view the ranch as an end-all. It's not who I am. It's not my identity. It's part of my work. Just something that I enjoy an awful lot.
Maddock says their tradition is to calve in the summer when the cattle are out on grass. We'll have another stop on the livestock tour later in the show.
The AgWeek Livestock Tour is sponsored by Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, 701X Autonomous Rancher, and Stockman's Livestock Exchange.
Coming up on AgWeek TV, we visit with retiring Mikkel Pates about some of his biggest and most memorable AgWeek TV stories.
Every season has an end. After spending your whole life building something, it can be hard to move on to your next stage in life. But when that time comes, you deserve to have someone you trust guide you through the process. And by trusting us to pass on your legacy, it gives someone else the chance to create their own. Every auction has a story. Let us share yours.
Looking to add non-GMO conventional and organic soybeans to your rotation this year? Soyco International out of Gary, Minnesota is looking for new farmer contracts for the 2023 season. They have proven marketing strategies, partnered with local agronomy expertise to work alongside and provide the certified seeds needed for their contract growers. Soyco International is offering premium prices to boost your operation's bottom line. Reach out to Sean Young today at 218-350-3863 to answer any questions.
Attention growers, agribusinesses, and ice fishermen. Agronomy on Ice, the ag event with the tailgating feel, is back. Put on your cold weather gear and join us Wednesday, February 1st at Woodland Resort in Devils Lake, North Dakota for this unique networking event. See your friends, wet a line, and try some Scandinavian delicacies. Don't miss the Agronomy on Ice Fishing Derby, Tuesday, January 31st. Visit agronomyonice.com for more information. We'll see you Wednesday, February 1st on Devils Lake.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
As we approach the end of the 2022 crop year, it's time to assess which decisions were good and which ones were not. Producers will go through cropping practices and evaluate their performance and make their adjustments the following year. Do you do the same with your risk management strategy? Did your crop insurance levels give you the coverage and protection you needed for the year? Were you able to respond to the market opportunities when they became available? If your risk management approach needs a little attention, the professionals at Martinson Ag can help you. We give you straightforward analysis that helps you make the best decisions for your operation.
Mikkel Pates is retiring this month after more than 40 years in ag journalism. In 2015, he added TV to his ag coverage. Rose Dunn talked to him about some of the biggest story he's covered for us here at AgweekTV.
In 2015, AgweekTV came on the air, and Mikkel gamely agreed to learn a whole new skill, video and telling stories for TV. You already were a visual storyteller with your photography, but this was different.
Oh, yes. You have a lot of things you have to do to add some things visually, B-roll, and you have to think about positioning your camera to make it, the reporter more part of the story.
And you have to actually go out there and face people that you maybe could have just talked to on the phone, or information you could have gotten out of court records, which brings me to some of your biggest, most read, most watched stories. Hunter Hansen, Ron McMartin, very big theft and fraud cases in the ag world in the last few years.
The most involved story for me was the Hunter Hansen story, because here you have a kid that's 19, 20 years old, over 18 months trades $23 million worth of grain, and he ended up not paying $11 million and going to federal prison for 8 years plus. Going out there, meeting his victims, talking to the people that he tried to bamboozle or did was important, I felt, to keep the attention on this guy, because he was really had done something remarkable.
Jerry Hennessy at the Ashby Co-op is another.
Stealing from the elevator and writing company checks to go international big game hunting. That was an incredible one.
And it's not all theft and crime and fraud. No. You've done so many great feature stories.
My favorite kind of farmer story is one where you have the farmer that is doing very well, maybe innovative in something, but they have transmitted this enthusiasm and excitement for agriculture into their children. Maybe you're writing about people coming up with marketing, and so I went to Cuba with when John Hoeven was governor and was trying to help farmers peddle beans and other products to Cuba. So it's been a very wide-ranging, fascinating business, and I feel like I'm just sort of scratching the surface. Having done it a long time, as you get calls from a lot of these people who have something going on, and then you have somebody to call and check whether things that you're hearing are actual real things or not. Another popular story was the, it speaks to the ag pilot shortage. The Riggins flight school down in Madison, South Dakota. I suppose it's one of the more fun and adventurous things I've done is get to go in one of these planes, and to be in it and have that experience was a lot of fun. And the good news is Mikkel will still, on his own schedule, contribute to Ag Week now and then. Now and then, so and certain projects that maybe I can't leave alone. It gets in your blood. It does. Well, best wishes to you and Barb for a wonderful retirement. Thank you so much for all your great work. All right, thank you.
You can watch Rose's complete interview with Mikkel on AgWeek.com. Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll tell you about a chance to learn more about carbon opportunities for farmers and ranchers.
The
team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute up to 3,400 feet away.
The 41st Annual AgWeek Farm Show returns to the Graham Arena Complex at the Olmsted County Fairgrounds March 7th and 8th, 2023. All area ag businesses are invited to attend this great opportunity to showcase their products and services to area farmers and ranchers. AgWeek News will be at the show with additional opportunities for sponsorship and advertising. It's going to be a can't-miss opportunity for farmers and ag leaders in the region.
Since the inception of Vatterstadt, the spirit of innovation has led the company. We push the limits, providing innovative and reliable seeding and tillage solutions that simplify everyday life for farmers. We continue to reimagine the capabilities and technology behind farm machinery, providing customers with a perfect emergence while maximizing their yields. We look forward to growing together.
Improve the profitability of your ranch by partnering with Top Herefords. Attend the Bull Sale February 10th, 2023 at the ranch, Grace City, North Dakota. When you buy a Top Herefords bull, you're getting top-of-the-line genetics and benefits of marketing your feeder cattle and replacement quality heifers direct. It's a common-sense approach to greater profits on your ranch. View the 2023 catalog at topherefords.com and join us at the Bull Sale February 10th, 2023 at 1 p.m.
The AgriWeather Outlook is sponsored by Excalia Fungicide from Valent USA.
How will the weather fare as the region prepares to enter February? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Very cold weather is about to dump back into the Northern Plains region as we end the month of January and start off the month of February. And it looks like for the northern parts of the central United States, this is a cold weather pattern that will have some serious lingering aspects. It's going to be cold for a couple of weeks, it looks like. Meanwhile, way down south, it's not expected to get that cold. There will be some probably at least one round of freezing or frozen precipitation down in the mid-south, but it's not going to get really frosty all the way down to the Gulf in this pattern. And this is a fairly typical second half of the winter weather pattern setting up, and it really sets up for some heavy rain and some stormy weather in the old mid-south, places like Memphis and Atlanta, Birmingham, sometimes up toward Louisville. That kind of the mid-south section of the country tends to get pretty wet this time of year. Some of it rains, sometimes it's rain and snow, and it's because of the cold air coming out of the north, but the warm air beginning to work northward with early spring in the south. So here's the way that happens. First of all, obviously the colder weather has arrived back into the northern plains. Frigid, meaning high temperatures near and below zero. It's going to be like that all week here in the north. Most of the Middle West will be seasonably cold, but we're not seeing really cold weather penetrate in the deep south, and we're starting to see surges of temperatures in the 70s and even some days maybe approaching 80 coming up into the deep south. That sets up this very much rainy weather pattern, which I'll show you in just a minute. But with the cold weather in the north, the active pattern is not going to be anything but cold, right? So we're not going to see much snow into the Dakotas and Minnesota, just a lot of greatly cold air. As we get into the second full week of February, it's still going to be extremely cold. There'll be a couple of days in North Dakota that go above zero, but it's going to stay basically fairly cold. We'll continue to see the warm weather at times surging up down south. Next couple of weeks looks like a great time to visit Florida, but it's just going to stay cold across the north. Southwest to northeast jet stream right in here is where you look for the heaviest precipitation. Let's take a look at the 2 weeks. The first week, the transition into February, there will be enough cold weather at first, I think, to bring some snow down into Texas and Oklahoma, and maybe some freezing rain in the southern part of the Mid-South. However, as this storm passes through, it will likely warm up, so some of this will turn back into rain. Any snow in the northern plains and upper Midwest would likely be light and not contain very much moisture. Second week, we're going to see a lot of dry weather, except again, the southeastern part of the United States will continue to be quite wet, and the northern part of that will bring some wet snows to part of the lower Corn Belt. But the Great Lakes area, unless there's some lake effect snows, and the northern plains is looking mostly dry and steady cold.
For AgWeek, this is Mikkel Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for watching AgWeek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Why I ultimately choose them is they handled everything from the site prep, the dirt work, the gravel. The electricians were all excellent, and they're very knowledgeable in the dryer setups themselves. They made sure that they designed me a system that was expandable years into the future. It was a long-term encompassing project, and that's what I appreciate about their knowledge. I'm Ethan Hansen from Blanchard, North Dakota, and I would definitely recommend Advanced Grain for all your grain storage handling needs.
If you're interested in health, good food, and sustainability, the Northern Plains Sustainable Ag Society invites you to attend the 2023 Northern Plains Food and Farming Conference, January 26th through the 28th at the Holiday Inn in Fargo, North Dakota. A robust lineup of speakers and topics is in the works for the Northern Plains Sustainable Ag 2023 Winter Conference. Register online at npsas.org.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Welcome back to our show. Joining me now is Mark Watney from North Dakota Farmers Union and David Ripplinger from NDSU Extension. They have a new event coming up in February. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, we're doing the Evolution Ag Summit on carbon, and we're bringing a lot of people in to try to educate farmers and ranchers on a program that's coming with lots of opportunity.
Couldn't agree more in terms of the growing importance of carbon. It's a real opportunity facing producers today. We know this. They're having conversations. In many cases, the contract is on the table, and it's a big decision. And I'm really excited that we're going to have a day to get farmers from the region up to speed on this, to give them the framework, the tools, the background, so they can make an informed decision.
$15, $10 an acre is being offered right now in many places for like a 5-year contract. But it really doesn't have much tied to it. It's more of a broker trying to get you to sign up, and then they go out and market your acres. I think it's a little premature for farmers to be doing that. I don't like telling farmers what to do when they have income streams potential, but I think farmers need to get educated very well. So when they make those decisions of being part of something, that they're getting as much value as they can. And we're going to have CHS, we're going to have ADM, Marathon, Anheuser-Busch, we have NDSU, we have Midwest Ag Energy with the ethanol. We have just a ton of expertise. We also have the millennial farmer, Zach Johnson, coming, who should appeal to a lot of the younger farmers. And I think they're going to get just a lot of good taste of what's out there and what they should be watching for as this develops.
So when is this event? Give us the exact details.
So it's February 21st. We have a one-day event in Jamestown at the North Dakota Farmers Union office. We're planning for a couple hundred people to show up, so we should have a really good attendance. And registration is started on ndfu.org, and it's $30 to register, so it's not very expensive. And you're going to have just a whole lot of talent in that room that you can get your questions answered.
Well, it's certainly an interesting topic, and good luck at your event. Mark Watney and David Riblinger.
Still ahead on AgWeek TV, our livestock tour visits a cattle producer who's already calving.
Go beyond the headlines with an AgWeek membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to AgWeek and AgWeek TV.
Attention farmers and ranchers. Do you have a clear understanding of carbon? North Dakota Farmers Union is hosting the Evolution Ag Summit, a one-day event focused on helping farmers and ranchers understand how carbon reduction may impact their operation. Speakers will focus on supply chain commitments, renewable fuels, and carbon sequestration. Join us in Jamestown on February 21st. To register, go to ndfu.org and click on Evolution Ag.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
Grain Handling Direct presents How to Purchase Grain Storage Solutions in Your Bathrobe. First, go to grainhandlingdirect.com, browse our products, check prices, and add your selection to a cart. You can place your order online or call our customer service reps with any questions. We'll route your order to the manufacturer and ship it directly to your front door. grainhandlingdirect.com. Direct and simple to save you money.
Omega-3 is a long-chain fatty acid that is beneficial in the human body. It's a superfood, basically. Omega-3 canola has helped us by diversifying our crop rotations.
Plants look better, they're taller, they're thicker. Pod development seems to be better. Good for soil health, good for weed control. The glufosinate it's awesome.
Another stop on our livestock tour takes us to Hitterdal, Minnesota, where Gary Jacobson is already busy calving. Although the edge of the Red River Valley isn't prime cattle country, Jacobson raises Red Angus with a few Black Angus mixed in. He says he likes the Red Angus for their disposition. He likes to fit calving into a 5-week window, starting in mid-January, so he doesn't have to calve in the mud. He calls the ground this time of year Minnesota concrete and says it's much easier to calve on.
We try to do it in a 5-week window, and it's labor intense, but it's over and done, and less time to get burnt out.
During calving season, Jacobson says he sleeps in the barn, but he jokingly calls it the Hilton because it has several amenities, including satellite TV and a kitchen. Jacobson will auction off 65 bulls on March 16th. Stories you'll only see on AgweekTV.com and an AgWeek magazine this week. Minnesota corn growers recently honored Senator Tory Restrom, whose farming upbringing inspires his policy work. And a bill in the North Dakota legislature would expand who could own livestock and land under the state's anti-corporate farming law. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.